Well, hello YouTube. Carbonated water. Look at that, huh? Wow, lots of gas. So my family wants this carbonated water, and we tried the SodaStream, and they were buying the bottles, and we've gone back and forth. Well, we have well water here, and well water notoriously runs on a 40-20 switch. So when the pressure gets down to 20 pounds, the pump comes on, and it shuts off at 40 psi. Well, I set up this this system I bought from Kegland. It's got a supposed to be automatic, and there's a float inside the lid over here, and when the water goes down, the water's supposed to come in. Well, theoretically, you're supposed to have your water pressure 20 psi, 15 or 20 psi higher than your CO2. Well, nobody likes the CO2 if it's at 50, so we're running it about 70, and everybody likes it. The problem I have is that when I boost up, I have to boost up my well water, and I'm doing that with a with a little air pump, okay, that's back there, that little black thing. Then that brass thing is a check valve, and then I just had a shut off and a refrigerator ice maker thing that goes into the back of my fridge. I took some PEX, I wrapped it around the keg. Holds about a half gallon. So basically I've got a half gallon of pre-chilled water, and so theoretically this is supposed to work all on its own. When you turn on your tap, water comes out of your tap and water goes in the keg, and it's supposed to shut off once the water reaches the right level. I don't know if it's defective and the float doesn't work or what the deal is, but when I leave it all on the way it's supposed to be on, and I've got pretty high pressure here. I've got it set at like 85 psi in the water and 70 psi in the CO2. But when I just leave this valve on over here, water ends up coming out ultimately out of my pressure relief over there. So either the pressure relief isn't good enough, or either there's too much pressure. All I know is that it doesn't work properly, and if I leave it running all the time the way it's supposed to work, automatic, I end up with a whole bunch of water that ends up spilling out, coming out of the pressure relief and flowing. So all I do is turn on a valve when I want to get water, and then let it come on and fill up, and then I shut the valve off. So I don't have to manually fill up the keg, but I got to turn that valve on and off. I'm not saying I can't get it to work, but it's pretty damn good for now, because we've got pretty much unlimited carbonated water that got the pre-chiller, and it seems like it works pretty well for what I need. One thing that I want to mention is that I've got my CO2. I got a 20-pound tank over there, and I ended up buying a regulator and a tap from some beer supply place, and the regulator only went to 60 psi. I've got it up here. I've got it up there somewhere. And only went to 60 psi, and that wasn't enough carbonation for what we wanted. And also the little tap handle that they gave me, I don't know where it is, it's up there somewhere. It was a little plastic one, and it would drip with the high pressure that's in that corny keg. So I ended up buying a stainless steel tap, and it doesn't drip. And as mentioned, so we got 70 psi running off of the CO2, and I've got an air line running off this little compressor, and this is set over here to whatever it is. I don't know, I can't see it here that well, but I think that's at around 90. So when I turn on my water, that little air pump supplies enough pressure so it overcomes the CO2 and that solved the problem of only having the well water the water pressure from my well at 2040. But I just wanted to pass this along because the pre-chiller with the PEX is a cool idea, I think, and the little pump to boost up the pressure is a good one too. So, I mean, this wasn't a cheap little outfit. It probably cost me like, I'm guessing, you know, $600 or something when it came down to everything. And if I would have known that that first regulator wasn't going to have a high enough pressure, and if I knew that the tap was going to leak, and another problem I had was pretty much everything I bought. When I bought the stainless steel tap, I got it, and I mean, I'm pleased with it, but it didn't come with the tailpiece. So what do? You have to tell the guy, oh, I didn't get the tailpiece. Then that comes, and pretty much almost everything I ordered, you know, some of it, you know, maybe due to COVID or whatever, but so slow to get the stuff. So it took a long time, and when you put it together and then you find out there's a problem, and then you try to put it together again, and you know, anyway, I tried the air stone. I also bought an air stone for the CO2 that had a different lid. It's up there somewhere, but I'm sure you've heard of those where you have a hose that goes down to the bottom, and then the CO2 gets fed in through the air stone and helps carbonate it faster. But this is instantaneous and don't even have to mess with it. The only thing I do is I shut that water off so I don't have to deal with it spilling out or any issues. So hope this was informational or informative, and give a thumbs up if you liked it. Peace out.